Howdy, folks. Welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And today is Trinity of Truth Saturday. But like last week, it's actually the twosome of truth because tonight Ken ain't going to make it. Kent's sick. So,
Aw.
yeah, think he's got the flu coming on or something's what he said. So,
Oh no.
yeah, he said
That's terrible.
he was just going to lay up for the night. And I was like, that might be a good idea.
Yeah. You got to take care of yourself if you get these creepy cruds.
Well, I mean, especially him being up north, of course, I don't know, but like I said, everybody in the state seems like they've been sick. So, I guess him
Mhm.
being in Canada, I guess he's avoided it for as long as he can.
Right? It seems like too, if you hold off for a while to get it, when it gets you pretty good. You're like, oh, it finally got me.
Well, and that's the thing, like I said, with this respiratory thing going on, like, most of the time you get sick and you're sick for a week or two, man, this shit lingers. Like, I've literally had it for like 2 months and I've seen other people like it's just had it for months. It's not, it just, I don't, I don't know if it's part of us building up resistance to antibiotics or if it's just
I think the
evolving as
drugs are
a,
strong. I think these viruses are really, really, they're really strong.
yeah,
So,
that's what I was going to say, or are they just evolving? So,
yeah.
oh, well,
You know what I would say? Let's all focus on immunity and sending out some powerful new T cells in all the bodies of the world to protect everybody from what's going on. T cells,
what's going on here?
truth cells.
Sorry, my, something's not right here.
Something's not right.
My speakers, it's for some reason it's coming through my computer and not my speakers, and it just sounds weird. I mean, it really don't matter. I'm just being anal, I guess.
Oh, I was going to say, okay, I hope everybody can hear everything good.
Yeah, I hope there's not an echo. That's what I'm really concerned about, as long as there's not an echo as far as the broadcast is going. So I'll have to look into that.
Hi, everyone in chat. Mwah.
Howdy, folks.
I'm like, I just got on. It's kind of hard to see.
Who do we have with us so far? I ain't gonna let it get far behind tonight. Miss Travel 444. I got your email, and let me tell you, folks, I'm so sorry. I've got probably everybody in chat I've got an email from. So tomorrow I'm getting on emails. You will get a response tomorrow. I'm so far behind though. So it's that's the problem. I let it get so far behind. It's just like it's such a daunting task now. Thank God for voice.
Yeah, 300 emails.
Yeah,
I get
thank God for voice to text because no way I can sit there and type all that. But anyway,
right.
so look for a response in the next couple of days. There's Ice Station Zed. What's going on, buddy? Heading to sleepy land. Well, I hope you get some rest. David Barry, what's going on, buddy? I'm surprised you're not in bed. It's what, like 3 o'clock in the morning there or something? Pure Love Ascension. She put out a good video today. Y'all go check her out. Be
Oh, right
having
on.
her on here pretty soon. Aeon Coppa, what's going on? Greetings. Johan, how you doing? Miss Mary Wins, what's going on, girl?
Hi, Mary.
Brian, you were making me dizzy. Well, Mama, that's what I was telling Trina beforehand. I was like, man, some people might end up getting some visual effects out of that. I'll tell you what, I'll change it real quick for you, so maybe it'll help.
It's so awesome.
Yeah, I do like where I'm able to do more here. Yeah, let's go with this one. All right, back to chat.
Right
There you
on.
go, Mom. I hope you're happy. Don Cortino, how you doing? Miss Jill Jarrett, what's going on? Rick Yorkin, what's going on, buddy? I'd love to get Rick on here, man. We don't agree on all the things, but that's one thing I like about Rick, and he's very opinionated. He's got a good noggin on him too. Lorian Lakesh Alakin Chavez, what's going on? Mr. Gazacav, how you doing, buddy? Scratch, what's going on, my man? Jana Armstrong, how you doing? Julotica, welcome. First time I've seen you here. Let me go subscribe to you real quick. Oh yeah, that's one thing. If I haven't subscribed to y'all, like I said, where I lost my channel, leave a comment in the video or something, because I'm trying to go through and resubscribe to everybody, because I go into my subscription feed and there
Right.
ain't ever no new videos out because I'm not subscribed
Yeah.
to anybody. So help me out there.
Yeah.
Matt Dowling, welcome. I think I've seen you here before, but it's been a while. Welcome back. Zigzag Zilla, I'd like to get him on here too. He seems like he's got a pretty good head on his shoulders. Mr. Alex Fox, I'll be getting him back on here. Lost in Space. What's going on, Jeannie Griffin? How you doing,
Yeah.
Big Al?
Joanne, I'm glad you're feeling better.
Who's that?
Joanne said she's feeling better.
Oh, well, good.
That
Good.
respiratory funk.
Yeah, I sent her some love after the show that night.
Me too.
Paul from Newcastle, how you doing? Who else we got? Ultraviolet Flame, she'll be with us tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Gerald M. Yates, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. All right, I'm caught up, so didn't let it get too far.
Mwah.
With us. So,
Much love, everyone.
like I said, once again, folks, I do apologize. Mr. Nichols will not be with us tonight. He has the flu, so y'all send him a little bit of love. So
Yeah.
he may be watching, he may be joining in chat. You never know, but I told him to go get some rest. There's Miss Delaney. How you doing, girl? So
Hi, Delaney.
get well, Kent.
Yes.
Said I can relate. I can't say nothing. You know, shoot, I've had to cancel a few shows in the past month. That's for sure. So
Lots of people been getting sick.
Yep. I was talking to Trina before the show. I sent Brian Lunsford a thing yesterday where, you know, he's under 1,000. And of course, she's right under 1,000 as well. And I'm trying to work my way back up. But there is, for anybody out there that only has a cell phone, and as you know, on YouTube, you have to have 1,000 subscribers to live stream from a cell phone. Well, there's an app out there, and you can get it through, I think, iPhone Store, and I know you can get it through Google Play Store. It's called Streamlabs. And if you have Streamlabs and download that app, you don't have to have 1,000 subs. You can live stream right then and there. Now, you can't have guests like this, but if you just want to do a solo live stream, you can do that. So there you go for anybody out there that live stream.
Yeah.
So
right on.
That may help somebody out.
I was going to say, Brian's tech support. I know I need it.
And trust me, I am the last person you want for tech support. But you know,
oh man, I don't even think to even just get me off the list. Laptop.
Well, that's one thing, you know, where I did have to switch, and I'm working on this new laptop. I'm having to look around for a lot of things more. And I'm one of those people, like I said, I've been looking for this laptop for at least 6 weeks now. It's like, I got to do my due diligence where I'm going to spend that much money. That's just the way I am. I just don't like to let go of that much money. So I do my due diligence. And so I've looked into a lot of these programs and stuff like that. And like I said, especially after I got knocked back down, and, you know, I thought maybe with that Arkansas trip coming up, that's the whole reason I wanted to get to 1,000, is so I could live stream the Arkansas trip. So maybe using this Streamlabs, I can do it anyway. So hopefully that helps some people, and be looking for a live stream from Trina maybe sometime.
Yeah, once I get brave enough, I will though.
No, we're gonna get you. You know, like I said, tiptoe in. I'll come join us. Shit.
I know, I would love it. I'd be like, okay, my first show was with Ultraviolet. My second show was with you. So it's so awesome.
Well, there we go. So we'll be kicking off her. I told Brian, you know, because he did a test live stream the other night, and sometime. Anyway, so it worked for him. So, you know, hopefully he'll do some live streams too. I told him, I was like, you know, when you start doing some of these crystal work, polishing and stuff, turn on your camera, you know, let people watch. So
absolutely, that's how people learn how to do it.
People love that stuff.
I mean, I love when I was watching him dump the rocks out of the jar and stuff. I was like, that's so awesome. I love it.
The Arkansas trip, Jeannie Griffin, we're still working on that, but it's probably going to be sometime in May, probably mid to late May. My birthday's May 23rd, so might be a birthday trip.
Yeah.
We'll see. So, you know, like I said, I'm still trying to work out all the details on that too. And so, and also, like I said, folks, the ones that sent me the emails on the telepathy, I'll be getting back with you within the next 7 days. I've got some good programs and stuff now. I got this computer, so we're gonna have
I would do that too. So let me know, because that's gonna be, we need to do this. I think this is important.
It's so funny now that I said that, I heard what Wayne talking about it, and I've heard a couple of other people saying we need to start working these skills. I'm like, hello.
I just said, right. That's what I'm telling you, Brian, we're all getting the same information. It's crazy. The synchronicities are off the hook.
It is.
It's crazy. I mean, there's so much information right now. I'm seeing a wave of it about the heart brain connection and how vitally important that is. And then, like with what you just said, it's like we've got to start to use these subtle abilities that we have that have just been like shut off because we haven't used them in a long time.
And the thing is, you may work with it and some people may pick it right up and some people may not ever get it. But what I'm thinking is, even if you don't get it, then it may ignite some other gift or ability inside you. Like I said, you just keep testing yourself. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. We all have it. It just might be expressed in different ways.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we all have these abilities, but we're going to see them expressed in all different kinds of ways. So, don't ever think to try to do something like somebody else. If you see something you like, and that you're like, wow, I would love to do that, but find your way through it and find your way to the power of it, because we're all super, super unique in that way. And that's just a beautiful gift.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. I think it's our power. I think it's our greatest power is our diversity. And I think that's why they've always used it against us, because I truly think once people understand that all these different perspectives that see things from some completely different ways, that's like the eye of God.
I think
it's everything.
We're so powerful is we're a mixture of all of it.
Yeah. And when all of us are focusing on the same thing with all of our different perspectives, our different personalities, there's a potent power in that. I'm just seeing it's powerful.
Jeannie Griffin asked, where in Arkansas? That's still not hammered down yet. Actually, I still haven't talked to Marsha Price yet, but I'm supposed to be talking to her within the next week some point. And she lives in Arkansas, and she's actually helping a lot with this. So
awesome.
I'll be finding out that information as well. So like I said, I've been in seclusion, folks. I ain't talked to nobody. I've talked to my mom. So
yay. I was gonna talk to mom.
Go figure. Who else we got with us? I saw, My Skies 5D. I saw him in there. Welcome, buddy. Good to see you. And there, Big Al says he's in Portland, Oregon on his way to Blythe, California. Well, Blythe, that's an interesting area. There's some energy in Blythe, supposedly. Heavy energy.
Out in the desert.
Yeah, I think it was Rex that was in Blythe not long ago. Isn't that where that Air Force base or whatever something happened? Wasn't it?
He found a bunch of those lines, like the Nazca lines.
Yes, Robert V. I am a hermit. I am, no doubt.
Yeah, he found like Nazca lines and ruins, but those weird lines that go for miles with nothing, no reason. So he took the drone from above and it looks like Nazca lines, those lines. So yeah, he found some ancient stuff out there.
It's everywhere. Like I said,
everywhere.
I found one of my old videos that I'm probably going to upload on this channel now, but remember I was telling you about those, on Google Earth, you could go underneath the surface of the ocean, and off the coast of Greenland, there was like this huge metropolis underneath the ocean, and there was like a phoenix, like a mural of a phoenix that was miles long. Well, anyway, so I think it was Third Phase from the Moon did a video on it, and that's what made me go look at it, and so I recorded some as well. Well, right after that, about a week later, they scrubbed it. Now you can go there and see a few of the roads and stuff, but most of it's blurred out.
Wow.
But you can go on Google Earth and still find stuff like that all over the globe under the water. There's ancient civilizations, roads, pyramids.
That's so beautiful with the symbol of the phoenix. Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Where was that, off Greenland?
Yeah. Off
Interesting.
Greenland and Iceland. Like there's a shelf that drops off, and that's where the phoenix used to be, was on the side of that shelf, and then it flattens off, and that's where the streets were laid out. And I mean, it's
Wow.
an intricate city, like huge.
Wow.
Yeah.
So amazing what's underneath the waters that we don't even know about, and what's underneath the earth that we don't know about.
I mean, people's always talking about the polar caps melting and whatever, blah blah. I
Mhm.
would love to know what's underneath Antarctica.
I think it's Atlantis.
That's that seems to be make sense to me.
Yeah.
So there's something going on down there, though. I know that. Like that's another place I'll go look on Google Earth, is go
Hmm.
pull up on Antarctica, and you'll find some strange stuff. Of course, somebody posted, like they pulled up Google Earth, and they went to the middle of Antarctica and it pulled up a jungle scene. That's just a glitch when you get things like that. But you can pull up some interesting looking stuff on Google
Oh,
Earth in
gotcha.
Antarctica. That, like, I don't know. So anyway, I don't know how we got off on that tangent.
I know, right?
Right.
Just interesting stuff happening on the planet right now. There's so much going on our planet right now. It's kind of amazing, all the things happening on our planet.
Yeah, the energies have been heavy as of late too. Like, I haven't seen the sun here in weeks, to be honest with you. But I read somewhere there where there was been a lot of energy waves coming off the sun and things like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of that going on. A lot with the magnetosphere, and it feels too like the energy right now is like um subconscious work. It's like subconscious stuff needs to be handled. And
Sorry,
that's
I'm intrigued. Deborah Tucker said you might not want to know, Milky. Now I'm intrigued. Now you're gonna have to holler at me in the next couple of days. We ain't talked in a while anyway, Deborah. It's good to see you. I've missed you. I've been thinking about you the past couple of days. That might be why you popped in tonight. So,
right on. See, telepathy.
well, I was talking last night about like a lot of the original people and how you don't see a lot of them around anymore. In which I do understand, because my thing here is to bring people together. So, like, I'm kind of locked in this. I'm in it for the long haul, but I understand how people kind of get what they need and then move on and get away from this noise, because that's what I keep preaching. Cut this noise out. So it's good to see people like that come back, like I said, because that's where I all started. People like
Hmm.
Deborah Tucker. So if you don't know Etheric Essentials by Deborah Tucker.
Yeah. Deborah, I
Thank you.
hope you have my chakra oil recipe because I'm getting very close to needing more.
Yeah, she
And I
does keep
want,
all that stuff.
yeah, and whatever my recipe was that she made for me, whoa, I love it. I want to make a body mist, and I need a new chakra oil blend.
Huh. Robert Reese says, did you hear it? China's building a base in Antarctica for Brazil for 100 million or 100 billion? No, I haven't heard that, but I do know that I saw where China's getting ready to send 200 million people to Africa to help the situation, basically to take the resources. So, and
Holy moly.
somebody was asking, Jenny Griffith said something about that coronavirus. I saw in chat had asked last night what my opinion on the coronavirus is. And as people know, I ain't said nothing about it because I don't think it's anything to really talk about. I think it's all a reactionary measure to see how we react to these things. I think you need to pay attention to what's to come. That's my opinion on it. So don't be getting any vaccinations, would be my opinion. So, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm
See,
right
I'm
on
trying
track with that.
I
Right.
foresee it, and they're going to push this vaccination. Like I said, they're seeing how people react now. And then if you don't get this vaccination, then they're going to put the real shit out there that's going
They're
to.
going to start pushing us on every level with mandatory vaccinations, mandatory give up your guns, mandatory this, mandatory that. We have to push back and just keep saying no because something's going on and these things are not safe right now.
Yeah, there's one thing, you know, I went back and listened to a little bit of Wayne's program the other day with that woman, and that's one thing, folks. You know, I mean, yeah, I own guns and things like that, and I know a lot of people have a bad stigma about guns and things like that, but
Mhm.
that's the last thing we need to do is give those up. And I know, hell, we may get struck on this video for
Bottom line
talking
is if
about it, but
anybody has a question about that, ask South Africa what happened when they took theirs. Ask the people of Australia what happened when they took theirs.
look at
Ask
China,
the
Russia.
people in the world who've experienced it. Ask them what happened, and then see if you still support the platform to remove the weapons. Because if you do, after you see what's happened to these people, there's just something wrong with you.
Yep.
Simply because rape and murder, and these people are just going into houses, they take what they want. I mean, the bad guys will never ever stop having weapons. So if you take them away from the good guys, there's no more battle left. It's just game over. And the
Yeah.
good guys are going to be the ones without any protection. So they're going to lose. It's simple.
Yeah, I mean, basically that coronavirus, and it's been around forever. Shit, go look at a can of Lysol.
Uh-huh.
Coronavirus, it says it on there. It's been around
Yep.
for a long time. It's just a version of the flu. That's
Yep.
all it is.
Yep.
Uh,
I don't know. It seems to me that they're setting up for martial law.
full control. Yep.
Well, they're beta testing with this. This is phase one. They've already got their what 50 million locked down. That's a lot.
I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, whole
That's a lot.
cities. I know that.
Yeah.
Could you imagine, like, you know, I know there's some Americans that are trapped over there, like, ugh.
Yeah.
That's like I saw an interview the other day where this couple was from America, I think Utah or something like that, and they were on a cruise ship that had got, you know, quarantined, and it was in Japan, and here they were supposed to be on that cruise ship, I think, for the next, oh God, what was it? Something like for the next 4 to 6 weeks at least, and could not leave their cabin, their room.
I know.
I mean, basically, that's like being in jail. Basically, that'd be
You are in those rooms. I mean, some of those are underwater. They're so tiny.
yeah.
There's
They're
no
saying
windows. They
the
can't
ones
even
that
see
don't have windows,
outside.
the ones that don't have windows, they're letting them go up to get air for like an hour a day.
Okay, well, I mean, because that would make you
It's like
batshit
jail.
crazy. They're literally stuck on the hull of the boat and they're under the water and they can't see out. They're like trapped in this little tiny room. I mean, tiny room. Yeah, that's got to be a bad deal.
Shoo. They said they said, well, they're treating us good. Well, shit. How do you know you're locked in your room? Well, because they're bringing you something to eat a couple times a
You
day.
know, that's not being treated well. You're paid lots of money to go have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, you know, especially they're flying all
Not
these
get
people
locked in a
back.
room and not be able to go to your work, back to your kids. I mean, some of these people left for a few days and have their kids staying with other people. They have, their whole lives are wrecked right now.
It don't make sense. That's what I'm saying. They're flying people back from ground zero from Wuhan district.
Right.
They're
They're
flying them
sending it
back,
on
but yet
purpose.
they're making people sit on these cruise ships and stuff like that. I'm telling you,
That's
that's
what
what
I'm
I'm
telling
saying.
you. They're beta testing to see how people will react to
That's what
being
I'm saying.
locked
It's
down.
all reactionary
What I
mode.
would suggest is everybody stop traveling. You want to freak them out? Stop paying. Stop traveling. Stop going on the cruises. Cancel everything. They'll pay attention because that'll hit their pocketbooks.
Right.
Oh, that's one of the best ways to do it is hit the pocketbook. I'm telling you, that's how you do it. Don't tell me I can't get off a boat once I get back on. And planes too. They're taking people off these planes and locking them in quarantine.
1984. Somebody,
Totally.
I saw something
Yeah.
where, they were taking that movie off of a lot of these streaming services and stuff. They don't, I guess, where there's a popularity surge in that movie 1984, and a lot of people are going to watch it, and so a lot of these streaming services are taking it down. They don't want people to see
Yeah.
it because basically that's what we're living in today.
It totally is. And yeah, they don't want people are starting to put together like the truth about like 1984 and all this stuff. It's like, they've been flashing this stuff in people's faces for so long, and most people never saw any of it. But now people are starting to see it.
Yep.
And now with that, it's like all of their stuff is being exposed now. And
Well, I
and
mean, that's what all this media, movies, and all that's been doing this whole time is desensitizing us to preparing us that for now.
go
I mean,
along like sheeple, but people are like, no, 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 because no.
listen to this. Gazacav says, my company is preparing for something. We're getting lots of containers of haz suits and masks, gloves, surgical equipment. They've gone crazy. I've heard several people talk about companies like that and stuff. Well, that was like there was this I can't remember the website, but there was a lot of YouTube videos come out after they put this out. But anyway, there's some kind of census records for the world, and it was talking about population counts, and it was showing all the different countries, and then in the year 2024 it was showing population counts again for all these different countries.
And
and
millions are gone.
and in the US we go from like 320 million down to like 60 million or something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
so I mean,
That's the plan of the new world order. So
why is
we
it
can
so important for?
stand
I
against
guess
it. That's what will happen. It's going to depend on us.
I guess it is because we have guns.
That's why they're doing this in other places of the world first, and they're
That's what I'm
succeeding.
saying. That's why they're
They're
saving us
succeeding.
for last.
These people have got to fight. They've got to stand up and fight. I mean,
So maybe we're not getting the true story on why all these other countries are rioting.
well, they're rioting because they're getting poisoned, and they're
I
starting
mean,
to see what's happening.
look at France. I mean, you would think that would be all over mainstream media and stuff, and man, you don't really hear nothing about it.
Well, you can't hear it from the media because the media is controlled by the New World Order. It's controlled by the same people. They own all the media. So you can't. It's like the best thing that's ever happened to us is our ability to communicate with each other on forums like this, because this is where we get the truth news, the things that are really happening from people that are actually living there, saying what's going on.
True.
Yeah. So it's like, thank God for the ones who speak out, and talk about what's really happening. But it's going to be harder and harder to get a hold of that information because it's turning into China here. Everything's getting censored through the internet now.
Yeah, I mean, they're even wiping information that you would think that everything that's been put on the internet would remain there. That's not the case. I mean, they're wiping out all kinds of information. Actually, like I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember reading something the other day about some kind of conspiracy theory, and it had completely been wiped from the internet, like it never existed.
Yep. It's insane. Yeah, it's something's really going on with this. The 1984 concept was always such a concept, and people were like, whoa, and it's like, I hate to say it, but the entire platform is in place.
Delaney says, I fronted them lizards up today on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have to check that one out.
She what, the lizards?
She fronted them. I guess, bowed up on them.
Yeah.
That's the way I'm taking it. Sorry, I'm trying to go
There's
through.
been a couple people who have had interactions with that lately.
Like I said, I think it's just a case of basically, the veil thinning really is a pretty good way to put it, because I think it is, like I said, we're evolving, and like I said, we're seeing these new spectrums, we're seeing new ways of understanding. All these things are opening up inside of us.
Yep. And with that, you start to learn how to vibrate higher and get more connected.
And that's why they're bringing out all this low vibratory stuff, because they're trying to keep us in a lower vibration.
Yeah.
So go bzzz.
Yeah. And
Buzz high.
I think, like I said, that's another important thing. Guys, try to get the orgone and the different shungite and the different crystals and the different things that keep frequency high around you, keep frequency up in your home.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
and I know I keep beating it like a drum, but just being more mindful of what you allow into your reality. I mean,
yeah,
being mindful of your thoughts.
yeah. That's the hardest one right now too, because we're getting hit with some heavy shit.
Yep, that's
So
right.
it's going to be hard, but guys, it's the best antidote to stay healthy is to be in joy. It's all of this is so important, especially with what's going on. It's like it's so important now to work on your vibration, work on keeping it as high as you can keep it.
What helps with me is just, no matter what they throw at you, what helps me just kind of relate and let it move on is just knowing that there's nothing that you can truly do by yourself to change that. So why let it bother you? Like, why let it worry you?
Oh,
If it's
see,
something you cannot change or control, why
I
let
don't
it?
know. I think that we can change and control so much. And I think that's where we're
I'm
going to be.
saying that they want us to focus on that negative.
Oh, they do. And we got to
Focus on
focus
the
on the
positive of
opposite.
how to change that.
I think, if enough of us were focusing on rainbows and unicorns, I swear to God, rainbows
Oh,
and
that
unicorns would
wouldn't
probably
work.
show up.
Yeah. Yeah. Be like a rainbow bright.
It would be. If enough people just sat down and said, all right, I'm seriously done. I'm going to focus and I'm going to manifest rainbows and unicorns. It would take a little time because a lot of people wouldn't be on board with that. But the ones that were really serious about it, we would probably see unicorns and rainbows.
And maybe those people that they classify as crazy that are seeing all these things, maybe they're not so crazy. Maybe they're
Oh, I
just
think so many
seeing
of the
everything.
I've worked with crazy people in social work, and I've seen some of the most amazing phenomena with the crazy people. I've seen like the multiple personality disorders. Oh, that's a profound situation because you can talk to 10 different people with one person. It's totally amazing. And then the possession aspect. I think most of the people that are truly crazy are some of the most empathic, spiritual, gifted people on the planet.
No.
Yeah.
Big Al's in there telling people how to drive around a semi truck. Giving out road rules.
Road rules. Hey, Al, no
That's
road
funny.
rules. That's
Was
funny.
Rainbow Bright? Hey, I mean, I wasn't a girl, but I remember as a kid, didn't they have a Rainbow Bright
Yeah, my sister had the doll.
Yeah. And then now I did have a light bright though too. That
Yeah.
technology back in the day.
Yeah. I remember that. I had a light bright too.
I remember the first gaming system I got.
Atari.
Nope. I got
What?
Intellivision. That was before Atari.
Oh, I didn't get one of
All
those.
it was the lines that had Pong and tennis. That was
Yeah,
it.
I
It
didn't
was
get
just
that one. I
lines
had
and a
Atari. Yep,
dot.
Atari was my first video game ever
I
that
had
I had. Was
Atari too.
Atari. Got
But
an
I had
Atari
the
system.
Intellivision and man,
But it had the Pong and that, yeah, it had those two on there. But they had like Frogger,
yeah.
um,
I had actually had one of
Man,
those.
you had
Remember the
Pac-Man.
mini
Ooh.
versions? Remember the mini versions of the arcade, like Frogger and Pac-Man?
Oh yeah, those are fun.
I had one of Frogger. My mom got it for Christmas. This is when I found out Santa Claus wasn't real. My
Um,
mom, yeah, I was Snoopy, and I found my
you were
Christmas.
devastated, yeah.
I found my Christmas. Well, I kind of knew before that, but I was still
Right.
playing it though. And
Right.
but she had bought me that Frogger game and had it in her closet, and I found it, and then I got it from Santa, so that was pretty much confirmation for me. So I
Yeah, you were like,
spoiled,
all
I
right, I
spoiled
know
it.
the deal now. Ruh-roh.
Well, but hey, that serves me right. I spoiled it for myself.
Yeah, but you know what? It's such a conundrum. I think this is part of what holds us back is our religious practices and our belief systems. But you know, the whole concept of giving gifts and some magical being who would give gifts to children who would not be able to have anything if it wasn't for that magical gift giver. There's so many of these stories, pieces of the story that are actually beautiful.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think it's time that we really start to focus on the things that we like and start to drop the things that don't work as a full service to humanity as a whole.
Like I said, I mean, every thought, every action, everything matters.
It adds up. Even, every little small random act of kindness, it adds up, and it does produce a wave, and those waves get bigger and bigger and bigger, and those produce effects, and then those effects start to become bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
It's like a smile and laughter. They're contagious. They really are.
They are.
They really are. I mean, you can go into a restaurant and see two people and they're just starting to laugh and starting to laugh and starting to laugh. After a while, you'll be laughing too, and you don't even know why.
I'm telling you, go like if you have a mall still or just it's somewhere where there's a group of people and watch or experiment yourself, have a couple of people with you, tell some jokes, start laughing, and watch the mood of the people around you. It's like a ripple.
It
People could be
is, and that's
somber around you, and then people around you will start picking up, cheering up.
yes, it's a beautiful thing, and that's truly the power that we have as humans. And we have been taught to be crabby, grumpy, road raged, freaked out, stressed out, depressed, drugged out. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like it's crazy, but we could literally shift everything if we literally created the frequency of it. And it's like literally as simple as that.
It is.
If we
That's
all
the thing
decided
about.
to have a group laughter session at the same time, and everybody stepped into joy, however that is, and literally celebrated joy, dancing, laughing, whatever brings you joy. I mean, if we started doing that, that sends a frequency out into the matrix, and it has to come back.
See, why is it like that's the thing? Most of these things are so simple to do. Why do we overcomplicate everything?
Because that's what the Lord always told me. He says, Trina, keep it simple, stupid. He said, because the devil's in the details. I was like, oh, he says, yes, you always want to focus on essence. Don't focus on the details because everybody sees things a little bit different. He says, that's what gets you in conflict. That's what makes you turn against each other, is because you don't see it exactly the same way. Even when you're holding the same idea and the same concept in resonance, the essence is in alignment. You will argue over the details and destroy the creation by arguing over the details because it brings forth my way is better than your way. The ego starts to get involved in all these other mental constructs that break down that creation. So he was like, keep it simple, stupid. Devil's in the details, focus on the essence and create as one in unity. And that's why he was like, the simpler it is, the more effective it'll be. He's like, so when you want people to work on consciousness, you want to bring them together with something as simple like saying thank you to water, because people don't have different bad beliefs associated with water. Water's so neutral and it's in everything. He's like, but love, lots of people, love's hurt them real bad. So when you say, let's focus on love, that might rip them apart. He goes, so words are tricky that way. He's like, so you want to be careful. You want to focus more on essence than details, and even more than words. It's about the essence or the feeling. So focus on the feeling because the feeling is the prayer.
I like that.
Yeah.
Jeannie Griffin, you're just full of questions tonight. That's good. What is going on with the telepathy group? That's what I was saying earlier. I'll be getting in touch with each person that's emailed me. I haven't gotten back to anybody that sent me an email for it. That's what we were talking about earlier. So I'll be
Maybe
getting
I'll
back.
help you work on that this week and we'll start to get the Arkansas thing a little bit ironed out.
But the telepathy group, I'll be emailing you this week, and I'll have the details. Like I said, I've been waiting to get this computer. That way, it would be I can show the videos and stuff that I need to and be more interactive. So you'll hear from me this week, Jeannie, and anybody else there that is questioning. But yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, anything to work these things. Like, and if you got somebody that talk with things like this in your immediate life, if you can work with somebody like close to you like that, even more, like, just like I said, be more mindful of your thoughts, and the reactionary measures, body language. There's so much involved in it.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I think a lot of us are already unknowingly telepathically communicating.
Yeah, I do too.
So,
I definitely do. I see it all the time. All the time. And then some of us are seeing each other in the astrals. So that's really awesome.
let's see. I
And
haven't
guys,
done
keep
anything like
keep
that.
working on that because I mean I would love to meet any and all of you. And I saw Wayne in some kind of garden. So just destination garden where Wayne was. Let's all go meet anytime you want. You know, destination Purple Planet.
The Mad Hatter.
Yeah.
It's what Wayne
Well, I
reminds.
know I got permission for us earthly 3D beings to go to this purple planet, and I'm pretty sure this
Oh,
is
the
our
purple
crown
planets
chakra.
back then. Okay, because remember that's what ultraviolet flame. We were talking about that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, and when we went to the purple planet, I literally I asked for permission for us to go and meet and train and learn there, and we were granted permission. So I was talking about this group, us.
Jeannie, you'll be fine with just a cell phone. I'm the only one that really needs the computing power and all that. You can join from a cell phone and you'll be fine. You'll still be able to communicate. So
I
it'll be
do everything from a phone. They're pretty good.
well. See, and that's another thing, folks, that I'm looking into. Looking into this app called InCall. I'm going to start doing call-in shows here now. I've got this computer as well, so I know a lot of people don't want to come on because I understand. I hate being on camera, so I'm here anyway. But like I said, a lot of
Call.
people don't like to come on camera, so that
Yeah,
way now you can call in and voice your opinion.
yeah,
So
right on.
I think that would be fun. And I've always
I
wanted to do something like that too.
I think it's great. I love hearing from people in the community. And when we hear their voices, just like they hear our voices, once you start to hear somebody's voice and you start to connect, that's a different connection. It because the vibrations have touched. I think it's like a very powerful thing to hear the sound of one another's voice.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like when a baby after they're born, like they know their mother's voice from being,
Oh, totally.
and
Yeah.
they know the fathers. If the father sits there and talks to it and stuff, they
Yeah.
know those.
Yeah.
I think that's why a lot of times you'll see, unfortunately I never had a child or anything, but you'll see, like, especially after the woman has birth and all that, and then maybe the first time that a kid it gets into his father's arms and or hears his father's voice, I think that's they'll light up because they recognize that voice,
I
or
know.
anybody, not necessarily the father, but somebody else that they recognize, and that's why they light up. They're like, oh, I've heard that.
Oh yeah, it's so funny. My babies, they used to love my brother's wife's voice, and it was so funny. They would get really active when I would go to lunch with her and stuff inside my womb. And as soon as they were born too, as soon as they'd hear her voice, they would get all excited and light up. They loved her voice. It was so funny.
Big Al, whenever you get stationary somewhere, between 10 and 11 Eastern shit, let me know. Of course, I know that's kind of hard for you to determine right now. I know we'll work something out, but yeah, I'd like to get you back on here though. I know it's just something like that one, like, of course, I already had two people with me, and then when people were cutting in and out, like it throws me out of whack, like it when Kent cuts in, like that just throws me off my game entirely. So that's what, I'd like for you to be
Yeah.
stationary. Your voice is a frequency, right? Yes, indeed, Shannon.
Oh yeah.
I
It's
think
just like
everybody
your
gets their own.
fingerprint. There's no other sound like yours is unique.
Yep. And I
We
think
all have a
all of
unique.
our frequencies are pretty similar. It would be my guess. I don't know, but that would be my guess. I think that's why we all came together.
I think I think this is funny because Mary and I were talking, and she was hearing the same thing. A lot of people right now are starting to get this information. I think a lot of us in this community are part of like the original ancient source codes of man. So like we came from like the original images where we're old beings. And I think that's why we all came back together at this time
Hmm.
from many different places in
I've
many
said, I mean, I don't have anything to back it up or anything, but I've always felt like I chose to be here, and because I keep asking myself sometimes, like, why? But there's other
I
times,
know.
why?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
sometimes you're like, what the hell was I thinking?
I know. I know. I know I signed up for this too. I know it.
I think we all did. Like I said, we all came together, and like I said, now let's start testing each other in a good way.
We've always been, told about this, the second coming of Christ would bring heaven on earth. That's exactly what we came here to do.
Yeah,
And
Christ.
it's a very simple process. It's when you awaken the serpent energy within you, which is the connection of the mind and the heart. And when those two become one, it activates higher mind and you become the Christ, because the Christed is the anointed. The
That's what
anointing.
I said. We are the second coming.
Yeah. So it's like we literally came here to do this. And when we do this, if enough people do this, I literally see it changing the vibration, because the matter is affected by vibration. It's like if you put sand on a vibration plate and you hit it with one frequency, it'll make a
So,
certain pattern.
yeah.
As soon as you hit it with a higher frequency, it completely rearranges and goes into a new pattern. It's the same thing that we see in water with thoughts. You shoot an energy of hate into water and it forms bacteria and virus. You shoot thank you into water and it forms beautiful snowflakes. It's everything here is based on vibration.
Yeah, I
And
mean, everybody should go out there and do the Emoto experience. I mean,
yes,
experiment. That's something easy that you can do at home
yes,
and test
yes,
it. Just get 3 glasses of water, freeze one of them, don't do nothing with it. Talk sexy, talk lovey-dovey to one of them,
yeah. Give it some sugar.
and then treat the other one like a piece of shit.
Yep.
Put it in there.
Be
See
mad
what
at it.
happens. So,
Yes, it's powerful,
yeah.
powerful information. And then Ultraviolet and I, we were going to kind of get into this a little bit too, maybe tomorrow, about how fractals and waters and consciousness and how we see it creating the entire matrix.
That's
So
weird. I just
that's going to be fun.
posted a couple of articles about it, so I'll bring those up too.
Yeah, it's so powerful, the power of water. Think about it too. When people die, they say there's a 2.5 ounce loss at the moment of death. I've always seen that as water. It's a mist. It's water though, and that water, um, I think it's like somehow it's the water that comes out of your spine. So it's magic water, and that water literally holds your consciousness. And the water is what makes everything. It's
Is that like
everything.
the Christos?
It's I think it might be the carrier of
Isn't the
spirit,
Christos
soul,
supposed to be an
essence.
oil secretion?
Yeah.
Hmm.
The Christos is the secretion of the oils in the pineal gland and the
Right.
light. That's the Christos, the anointing. Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that can happen so many different ways. You can have it through imagination, you can do it through psychedelics, you can do it through sex, you can do it through kundalini awakening, you can do it through breath work, you can do it through meditation, astral travel. You can awaken that higher mind center in your mind in many, many different ways. And people do it all different ways. So don't think you have to have a kundalini awakening to reach the anointing. No, that's not true. You could have a completely awesome lucid dream and have the same exact gnosis.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
Bree Cozy, I agree wholeheartedly. She said, I think it's a she. We just need enough people for this to hit critical mass, heaven on earth.
Oh,
Bingo.
that's absolutely true. Because we literally are creating the world we see, and the powers that be are really suppressing our vibration. And they're hitting us really hard right now. And this is being done on purpose. So the only way to fight back effectively is through vibration and vibration. And you can be in expressing joy and expressing love, no matter what's going on around you. Just take a little bit of time every day and focus on what you would like to see. Like really let your imagination
That's how
go
you
wild.
manifest.
What would heaven on earth look like? You know,
Yeah.
see it.
Let's
What were you
see.
saying, Brian?
I said that's how we manifest.
Yes.
Yeah, Robert V, I'd love to get you on here, buddy. I know how you think. I'd love to get you on here. Hey, what water are you talking about? I'm talking about, if you're talking about the Emoto experiment, just tap water. You can use just regular tap water. Just get
Yeah.
3
Any,
glasses and fill them about halfway with water. Like I said, don't do nothing with one of them. Talk favor to one, put it in freezer, and then, like I said, downgrade, talk one up to one, and put it in the freezer, and then take them out after they're frozen and look at the pattern in the ice, the way it freezes.
yeah, it's like every day you got to do this to the water. One you ignore, you just don't do anything to it. The other one you send really bad things to, one you send love energy to. After about 2 weeks, you'll see things start to grow inside that water.
That's why people pray over their food, say the
Yes, that's
blessings.
exactly why.
Yeah.
That's
It
brilliant,
actually
Brian.
does make the food better and more nutritious. So,
Bingo. It's exactly because it literally changes the frequency through the observation and will of your heart and mind working as one. When the heart and the mind work as one, it literally creates a magnetic field. That magnetic field is what creates matter. So all matter here is electromagnetic. Our heart centers are electromagnetic.
indeed, it is.
And it's working through the eye and the heart. So that's why Christ would always say, make the two one. This is it. You got to make the mind and the heart, bring these together. Because when they're working as one system, you literally are connected to your spirit while operating within soul. And they're completely in agreement. And when that's happening, that's when you can heal. I mean, I've seen miracles, flat out miracles, like miracles. And this is like a normal thing when you can get into this vibrational frequency. It's what happens in the body. And you can do it in other people too. Mhm.
Oh, what a wonderful world we live in. Is it?
Yeah, the potentials are kind of unlimited because the divine spark that you hold inside of you, it literally is like the best way I could define it is unlimited potential. Unlimited.
I wrote down something like that the other day. That's weird you say that. It just
Did
sparked
you
something.
really?
Yep.
See these telepathic synchronicities we're having. That's interesting, Brian.
Eternal spirit equals every particle in the universe contains the info of the entire universe within the particle.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
So,
Yeah. So, and each one of us has a particle of that infinite spark. So, that infinite spark has the whole within the piece in a holographic nature
I
reality.
was going to say that makes sense in a holographic universe.
Yes. And that's why it truly does work. And
And
that's why
that's
we
why it
are
makes
God.
the most sense to me now. I didn't used to think it did, but
I didn't either. I did not like the concept when I first came into contact with it. I was like,
the
hold the
more
phone.
you look
I don't
into
like
it,
this.
the more you're like, nah.
Yeah.
So,
There's too much evidence to support it. It there's just too much.
I mean, to me, the way I look at things now, the more outlandish it seems,
you
that's usually probably
know
that's
what I
probably.
heard? You know what I heard yesterday or day before? I don't know, it was a day or two ago, and I was meditating, and I literally was focusing on the moon, and seeing like totally like human factory making stuff going on there. And then I was literally heard, like, after I saw, like, they were making humans and they were making, I don't know if they're making soul, they were making stuff. And I could see this. And then all of a sudden, I just heard this voice that started laughing. It says, don't you get it? Born in sin? What? I wonder if we were built on Mars or the moon, if we were born in sin, because I wonder if our original body might be on the moon or it was created on the moon and then it's up in a ship or it's somewhere sleeping in stasis projecting your reality. I was like, that's very interesting. Born in sin, born on the moon. Interesting.
Hmm,
Hmm.
interesting.
Born on the moon. something about that's like, I'm on to something with that one. So I want to keep working on it.
Yeah, like I said, it's weird how like it seems a lot of these same ideas and of information are popping in all of our minds at the same time. Even though, like I said,
Yeah.
I haven't talked to you since last week, and here we've been pretty much right on course.
Right. It's so nuts. That's what I mean. That's confirmation for me too. Cause like when we don't talk for a few days and then when we do speak, we're like, oh, that was on my consciousness. Oh yeah, that was in my consciousness too.
That's weird.
It's like we're like picking up on the same exact information, being drawn to the same information that's being presented at the same time. It's very
Well, you know,
synchronistic.
I've said it a long time though. Like, you know, in the past, I used to just dismiss those things. It's all about just paying attention to your thoughts. Like,
90% of the problem is identification. I'm finding that to be a huge, profound truth. 90% of the issues that are making us stuck is because we can't identify them.
yeah, and that just baffles us humans.
Yes, it does.
If
Because
we
the
don't think we
ego,
got our finger on something, it tears us up.
yeah, and the ego needs to understand things to feel safe because it
Yeah.
needs to think it's right.
Lord have mercy. Let's see. Any questions before we wrap her up? You got
Let's
anything you'd
say
like
that.
to throw in there?
Any what?
Hold on. Pure Love Ascension. How am I doing those backgrounds? I wish I could tell you that. To be honest with you, I looked all day and I finally found a few of these. They're called image motion, and there was one that was free with this Zoom, so that's why I knew they had to be out there somewhere. So I've only found one website that actually has them, so I'm still looking into that. But you know, I'm happy to share anything I got up here, because trust me, I'm not tech savvy. If I can figure something out, I'm happy to share it.
You're
So
awesome.
anyway, so any final thought for us, huh?
Oh, I think the most important thought for me to give to everybody tonight is to love your water. Love the water within you, love the water in our oceans, love the water in all of our fruits and vegetables, love the rain that falls into the creeks, love all the water because the water's hurting right now and it needs a little healing. So love the water.
Indeed, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Love thy neighbor, but don't get caught.
If you love the water, water's in your neighbor. So yay.
Yeah, it went right over your head.
It did.
I said, love thy neighbor, but don't get caught.
Oh, I didn't hear the end part.
It was funny. It was my stepdad's senior quote.
Oh, that's funny. Love your neighbor, but don't get caught. That's funny.
Well, Hannah, I guess I'll be seeing you back again here tomorrow night.
Yes, with ultraviolet.
Yep, that should be a good show. And I think we're actually going to get more into the holographic universe. That's kind of, we're going to talk about it tonight a little bit, but I was like, well, shit, we'll just save that for tomorrow night,
You know,
since y'all
it's so
already
amazing
talked about
too,
it.
Brian, is because what
That
we're
one
seeing.
might go over an hour, folks, because I've actually got some videos and things like that to show. So you might want to prepare for maybe an hour and a
You
half.
know, what's so interesting, I think the carrier for the holographic matrix is water. Because think about it, water reflects, it produces images.
Wait a minute, what do you mean by the carrier, though?
Like the holographic matrix, it's like being projected through the water, the droplets of water, because they literally create images, because the outside in concept of the reflection, the inversion, water sees because water catches reflection. Like you can see yourself in a pool of water. You can see reflections and images within water. And I think the water is the construct that builds the actual, it's the carrier for the images of the holographic, the matrix. I think it's literally the carrier.
You know that they say that space is almost liquid-like. Maybe
No, yeah, I think so. But I don't think it's the same kind of water we're used to. I
no,
think it's like
no,
more of
no.
a plasma water somehow, water plasma.
There's a whole other show.
Yeah, right. The concepts of plasma. Yeah, that's a whole nother show.
That I would like to actually do a show on that.
Yeah, plasma's intense. It's
I'm gonna have to work on that then.
much
Like I
about
said,
it.
I'm just excited where I'll be able to show some audio visuals and stuff now. Y'all don't just have to sit here and look at us.
Yes.
So
We'll do some learning together. 'Cause
that's
that's
it.
what we're doing. We're all learning together.
Day by day, step by step.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm getting ready to dive in to try to do some deeper soul work, and it's gonna be intense.
It always is.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna do a session with Sovereign Key.
Oh, are you? Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool. Let's let
we're
me
gonna
know how
start
that
doing
goes.
some work. Yeah, it's like really cool because she does work like I do work, so it's gonna be super fun to work with somebody who knows how to work like the same way I work. So
Yeah,
I'm
and all
super
that can do
excited.
is help you improve you honing your own
Well,
ability.
that's what I mean. All of us have work to do. It's like even though I do this for other people, it's like I need to get work done too. Yeah,
Yep. Well, good
yeah.
deal. Like I said, you'll have to maybe you can come back on and tell us about that.
Yeah, I can. Sometimes these are deep and personal, but I'll definitely share what I can and definitely share my gnosis because I've been looking for somebody who could take me pretty deep. And I'm sure Lauda can do it. So I'm excited to go.
Cool. Yeah, I'm always a little hesitant to do things like that. I've said before, but oh well.
You know what? We all are, and it's normal because the ego is terrified of anything changing. I
Yeah.
was looking at that a lot this week. I kept saying, okay, I really want to go really deep. I go pretty deep on my own, and I've gone to some pretty extreme territory, but I want to go really deep into my primordial origins, which is going really deep. And I want to go into the deepest layers and levels of any trauma I still hold that I need to clean and clear and release. And I want to go all the way to the root. So I'm going to be going in deep. And
Yeah.
you know, it's a scary thing to do, but then the thing I was thinking about, was like, okay, there's a lot of fear of, oh God, where am I going to go? How am I going to, what's going to happen when I get there? Oh my God, am I going to see aliens? Because I don't want to deal with that. I'm like, I have all this crap, and I'm like, I should fear none of it because I know in the deepest part of my essence, I created it. So that
Just
helped me get through the fear.
just step in and be like, I'm the head bitch in charge now.
I know, and I made this shit, so I'm gonna clean it up now.
Yeah. Step in with some confidence.
Yeah, confidence, but also too, like I said, I think many of us that are here, we have been warriors, whoa, a lot of times. So a lot of us, that is our
That's
true
in
nature.
my
Like
past
Kent,
life,
Kent's a
really.
full-blown warrior. He is so warrior mode. We got to learn not to want to kick ass so much because now we have to work
I'm
on.
telling you, I swear to God, I think I've helped Kent with that a lot.
Oh, Brian, we're like so connected. I'm a warrior too. It has been confirmed on me for so many levels. But yeah, we are here because we are those warriors. We came here because we're so strong and so stubborn in our own knowing and our own will that we wouldn't be easily swayed by the power of this matrix, because this matrix is powerful and most people are still sleeping within it. There's not many of us that are truly awake.
No. Yeah.
So you guys, we are a very special, special group of human beings upon this planet. This is just truth.
That quote you just said, that was one of the quotes in that video I put out yesterday about welcome to the organic machine. If y'all hadn't seen that video, you need to go watch it because I'm telling you, it's one of the best videos I've ever done.
Yes, and it is an organic machine. And it's so funny. Pink Floyd, Welcome to the Machine.
Oh, that's the song.
I
Welcome.
know. That's what I mean. It's like it so explains it all right there. Pink
So
Floyd, Welcome to the Machine. It's just I think
that's
this is
good.
exactly what we are looking at.
Maybe, and you know me, like I said, I never was one of those into the whole matrix and all that, but Lord have mercy.
I can only
Rabbit
see
hole
that
after rabbit hole.
I think it has purpose because, okay, if you were gonna be a god, a creator being, and you were gonna be giving birth to children, which are going to be creator beings, before you let them loose into the whole universe and cosmos, because they can really probably do a lot of damage, it might be a really good idea to set up a subconscious training system so they could learn to deal with all of the parts of their hidden self before they're able to go fully manifest and create on a massive scale, so they could understand the consequences of darkness and understand the consequences of all of the things that we can only learn in a 3D realm of matter.
We are
So,
here to learn.
yeah, so this might have been one of the greatest creations to teach the children of creation, because through a simulation or an artificial construct, and that would make sense with the quarantine, because if it's an artificial construct on a simulation basis, even though it's bioorganic and highly intelligent, that means that it would be within a quarantine, so it could not infect the rest of the system. Because it's a training ground to play with absolute utter free will. And through that free will, the only way you have free will is to be forced with choices. So to have free will, you had to be brought into polarity. It's the only way free will can exist.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I must confess.
Yeah. So we're learning, but we're going to figure this out.
Absolutely. All right, folks. Well, look, we'll be back tomorrow night. Until then, be the frequency you want to receive. I love y'all.
Much love. Bye,
Have a good
everyone.
night.